quickly. Dawn breaks over the desert sands of Anbar province, casting first light on Al Assad Air Base, the second largest military operation in Iraq. In hangars along a helicopter flight line, members of a squadron known as the Thunder Chickens have been working through the night to ensure that 10 Osprey aircraft are in top shape. After decades of development, years of testing and training, after 2 months of preparation, the day of reckoning has arrived. This is the day that Osprey pilots and crews will, for the first time, take to the skies to fly ground forces on a combat mission.
You know, I don't know if you call it nervousness or just anxiousness, but yeah, there's always a little bit of you know, butterflies before each mission.
Boarding one of the Ospreys, Major Bob Brody, a veteran pilot and a ground forces commander, introduces the grunts to the aircraft. Most of them are seeing it up close for the first time.
I've got a very important question. Send it. Where are the armrests? Is there an in-flight manual right here?
Those of you that have not ridden on this aircraft, it is a sporty ride, and it's much different than from the 53. 53 kind of comes down. When it goes forward, it kind of leans forward. This is an airplane for all intents and purposes. So when they pull out of that zone, you're going to feel a lot of acceleration. So here's the last thing, gents. Obviously, everything goes sour on us. We need to start fighting. You just take care of business and don't worry about anything. All right, you just start taking care of that target.
This is an aircraft unlike anything they've flown in before.
Again, I can't overemphasize the acceleration and deceleration. All right, we're going to accelerate, you know, rather rapidly. So make sure you grab on everything that you've got. Okay, try to strap it in. You guys definitely need to be strapped in, especially guys in the back.
For the Iraqi armed forces joining them on the mission, it's total future shock. They've never seen anything like this.
This is our newest airplane that we're flying in over here. It's a salt sport aircraft mounted.
طيارة جديدة عليها استطلاع طيارة جديدة أول مرة يستخدموا الاستطلاع عملية الاستطلاع يمكن طيارة هليكوبتر بس بعدين الجناحات تكون طيارة اعتيادية طيارة
Their first missions will take 2 days of flying. Three Ospreys head out across the vast landscape, joined by a Huey attack helicopter and a Super Cobra gunship. Their destination is 34 miles to the northeast, an area codenamed RSA. On day one, their target is a village, codenamed Buccaneers. Intelligence reports have determined it is a regular rest stop for insurgents infiltrating Iraq to bolster enemy forces. The Marines need to cut them off at the pass. The Ospreys are flying more than 40 Marines into the village so they can make contact with leaders of the local community and demonstrate a show of strength. They plan to go door to door in search of suspects. But first, they must get there safely. Armed with Hellfire missiles, rockets, and heavy-duty machine guns, the Huey and the Cobra carry the firepower to act as escorts for the mission. As they head to their first destination, the Ospreys fly high to stay out of range of any surface-to-air missiles or rocket launchers until the last moment. The Cobra and the Huey are the first to fly down close to the village, spotting the safest and most efficient landing zone for the Osprey to drop down and unload the troops. On board the low-flying Huey, a door gunner prepares a smoke flare signal, tossing it out of his helicopter to mark the best location for the Ospreys to land. In moments, the Ospreys swoop down, descending first in plane mode, then rotating their nacelles, the equipment that changes them from planes into helicopters, they make the final descent. As they land, the environment fights back. Like any helicopter landing in this desert, the Osprey's giant blades stir up a blizzard of flying sand and dust. It is the type of situation that can turn deadly. It can blind or disorient pilots and the crews guiding them down. But the Osprey has a sophisticated computerized control system that comes to the rescue. For the hover couple, the system links with an onboard global positioning system, or GPS, to automatically read the plane's position and height and help land the aircraft for the pilot. Once safely on the ground, the Osprey pilots have another technical advantage. Thick sand wraps around them and threatens to blind the ground troops as they disembark. The pilots engage the nacelles to blow away the sandstorm. Once it's clear, the Marines' infantry forces hit the ground quickly, fanning out around the village. They will stay on here as the Ospreys again take to the skies and return to base. Security in Anbar province has improved enormously since the first Marines arrived here in 2004, but the enemy is still a serious threat in this region. Sending the squadron on these missions, the commanding general of Al-Assad is determined to turn the tables.
There's still an active enemy out there, but we maintain a high operational tempo in support of all the actions here in order to keep continuous pressure on it. We want Al-Anbar to be a dangerous place for a foreign fighter or for an insurgent.
Trying to cover this vast region by ground alone would be impossible. Distances the Osprey can cover in minutes could take hours. And here, the Osprey also outstrips helicopters. The Osprey's strengths, speeds of more than 300 miles an hour and range of more than 1,000 miles without refueling, come into play. It may fly at the speed of a plane, yet it can land at locations no plane can approach. Day 2 of their first ground combat missions begins. They are flying more than 40 infantry troops to the far west of the war zone to scour the border of Iraq and Syria. This is notorious territory. It has been a well-known route for smugglers and bandits for centuries. Today, insurgents are coming this way. This operation includes a small armada of aircraft. Their targets are a multitude of hiding places, visible only from above. Distant side roads, ravines, wadis or dried up riverbeds, and even small caves. Huey and Cobra pilots flying escort lead the search. The Ospreys stay high until a Cobra pilot spots a cave they've been seeking. Intelligence reports have indicated this could be a storage location for a cache of weapons and explosives being smuggled across the country. Once again, it's time for the Ospreys to bring in the infantry. Once again, the troops hit the ground. The Ospreys wait while the infantry forces close in on the cave. But it's a dry hole. If it has been used as a weapons storage facility, it's now been emptied. Frustrated, the infantry forces return to the Ospreys that again take to the air to continue the search. With so many aircraft, the challenges that the mission commanders and pilots studied so closely in their planning are always present. The question of deconfliction, avoiding crashing into each other like the planes in the tragic mission into Iran a quarter of a century ago. Out here, it's no longer history, it's the real thing. Throughout the day, they fly up and down the border, smoothly integrating with other aircraft. As they return to base, it's been 2 days of combat operations. And it's been a long 2 days. For the pilots, it's been tough flying. For the crews, it's been an exhausting mission. They have faced several tough tests. But the men, women, and the aircraft have met them all. Despite coming up empty-handed against the unseen enemy, despite the hardships, it's been a smooth operation. The Ospreys have proved they are ready for combat. They can get troops where they need to go. They can do it in the toughest environment. And all along, the Osprey's technology has proved vitally important. The aircraft that some claimed could be a disaster in a war zone like Iraq, simply performing smoothly and without incident, has become a benchmark of success. These Ospreys have risen to the challenge, proving that their attributes far outweigh their past failures, most of which are now more than a decade old. The men and women of the squadron feel good about what they have done. But they will soon get a report card from their ultimate authority, in person. Daily life in Iraq is no day at the beach. But for the squadron known as the Thunder Chickens, it has its moments. On the Osprey's windswept flight line, Captain Michael Parrott has just returned from his first mission flying as the commander of his aircraft. And his support team has a ceremony awaiting him, a type of military baptism to celebrate the moment.
So it was an eventful day. My first flight as an aircraft commander in the V-22. This was the perfect ending to a perfect day.
Oh, very nice!
All right.
As dirty as I can smooch it out. Oh, God, get the fuck off me! What?
A day to remember, with friends and in a career. But a new day brings another, more dignified ceremony. The arrival of the Commandant of the United States Marine Corps, General James T. Conway. He has come here to see Osprey operations on the front line firsthand.
Bless you, man, for what you do. Keep doing it.
Keep on doing it, boys.
It is revolutionary across the entirety of the world. And we're just excited to see you guys and gals continue to prove this thing. DC is much
He likes what he sees. He says the Osprey is making history, that the Osprey represents the future, not just here, but around the world. While the aircraft's introduction to the battle zone has been incremental, its advocates say its future is unlimited.
It is a superior aircraft that is going to support Marine Corps aviations and take us to places that we don't even know about yet, I don't think.
I won't tell you this is the future of the Marine Corps, but the concept, to me, is the future of all aviation.
While this feels familiar because some of us have been to Iraq before, all new experiences and all new mission planning. Everything is somewhat new. It has an old flavor and feel to it, but it's all new.
That's what these pilots hope for, a new day and a new chance for an aircraft they say deserves both.
There's definitely an evolution that the aircraft is going to have to go through in order to be used to its full potential.
You know, it's all about just trying to find out how to leverage the capabilities that each one can bring to best effect. Carry more, go faster, go farther. Those are all kind of raw capabilities. You only find out what the aircraft can do when it's stretched by people asking it to do things.
I think we're doing the job, and people, as they get more comfortable with us, as they get more interaction with us, as we get integrated, they're falling in love with the airframe.
It has taken a quarter of a century